What's up, people, and welcome to a video that is somewhat personal to me, and I'm going to explain why. So, I have been with my wife for about 12 years. 13 years? We got together in 2013, so, nope, 11 years. 2013 to 2023, that's 10 years. Now we're in 2024, that's, that's 11 years. And, sorry, I can't math today. Happy Father's Day to everybody, by the way, which is what today is. And I saw something on the internet that ticked me off, as the internet is prone to do, especially when I have such a low tolerance for stupidity. And that is in regards to faking mental illnesses. And it's a trend that has, I want to say it originated on TikTok and then just carried over into YouTube, and now it's fucking everywhere. Now, that could be backwards. It could have originated on YouTube and now it's on TikTok. Whatever. Either way, it's pervasive, it's everywhere, and it sucks. So, my wife has been diagnosed with several disorders, and it's not this quirky. Now, I'm going to preface all this by saying that I have not been diagnosed with any mental disorders, although she says I probably have one if I have been with her this long and have gotten to the point where she doesn't want to kill me. So, well, I'll just say that. It's not this quirky, fun thing that these 20-year-olds and, late stage teenagers on the internet try to make it out to be, right? Anybody with a mental illness doesn't want a mental illness and doesn't think it's cool and doesn't want to, shout it from the rooftops to every single person out there on the internet like a lot of these people do. And then half the time they don't even get the actual traits of the disorder correct. For the longest time, at least from the beginning of our relationship, when I was with my wife, when I first met her, it was a complete and total shit show for several years. I didn't know what her mental health status was. She wasn't on medication. We were both drinking heavily. And, this is all a combination of things that just don't work. Right? And it wasn't until things got really, really, really bad, and she was even at the point where she was like, I need to get help, that things actually got better. Therapy, medication, and cutting out all the toxic shit that's alcohol, toxic family members and friends, shit like that. Everything that needs to be done in order for somebody to live a somewhat normal, healthy life, right? Especially if you have some sort of mental disorder. It's irksome to see people like, I don't even know how you say her name, disassociated or disassociated, DID, however you say her name, where she's making this thing where she's got 40 different alters and she can change them at will, and they're all somehow YouTubers and this, that, and the other. DID is often, let me rephrase this, I'm trying to figure out how to make this wording as exact as possible. Somebody is more likely to have some sort of schizoaffective disorder than to have dissociative identity disorder. And DID is likely, and there's a bunch of people that don't even think that it exists to begin with. I am not one of those people. I absolutely think it exists, and I can understand why it's plausible. And I also understand why people don't think it exists, because you have so many of these fucking idiots on the internet that are faking it. Usually it's the result of extreme trauma, right? Your mind tries to cope with all the bad shit that's happening, And it's not this quirky thing where it's like they stare off into space and then, oh, hi, I'm Steve. Or they do this weird thing, oh, I'm Bruce. It's nothing like that. It is terrifying for everybody, for the person that has it and for whoever's on the other side of it. Yeah, these switches and these systems and these altars and all this shit that they talk about, and I'm just speaking from my experience because I didn't think this was a thing. But it's not how they make it out to be. It's like usually whenever it would happen is because it was a moment of massive amounts of stress. And it's like and you can see it in the eyes. It's like a switch gets flipped, right? Like you know who somebody is when you're staring them in the eyes. You can go like, I know who you are. That goes away. It goes away completely. It's like you are looking and talking to a completely different person. And then, after the stress has subsided, then the person really has no clue what's happened. And these episodes can be, minutes. It can be an hour. The longest episode that I ever had to deal with was maybe a day or two. And again, it's not fun. It's legitimately fucking terrifying. And I don't know. It's disappointing to see all these fucking Zoomers, these kids faking something for clout or trying to make it out as being this glamorous thing that isn't glamorous. It isn't fun. My wife, I actually asked permission from her if I could even do this video because she doesn't like talking about it. And it's the result of things that have happened in her life that should not have happened and I wouldn't wish on anybody. And her and I have worked through many coping mechanisms and things that we should or should not do, to get to the point where we're at now. It's it's hard. It's really fucking hard for everybody involved. And that's with any mental illness, right? If you're manic depressive, if you're bipolar, if you have, ADHD, if you have any sort of true diagnosis and you're not one of these people that's self-IDing, if you've actually been to a doctor and the doctor's saying, yep, this is what it looks like, and this is probably it. And I get it. It's hard for everybody that's involved. For people that live with somebody that has issues like that, it's not a I don't look at it as like this badge of honor, like, oh, I've survived this thing, It's, if you really care about somebody, then you obviously want them to get the help that they need, and you deal with all the ups and downs and everything that goes along with it, which is what I did. And here we are. But it's not, I don't know, I'm so sick of seeing all these young people, wanting this stuff, and all these people that are just going along with it, clapping like seals, going, oh, you're so stunning and brave for, sharing your story, when you can tell this is not anything like what you have experienced. And it's worse for people like my wife to see these people on the internet, because that's why nobody wants to talk about it, because nobody believes it, because you have all these people faking it. You have people that don't want to talk about their mental illnesses because these people make them look bad, right? Because then they're going to come out and they're going to talk about something legitimate, and people are going to be like, oh, you're faking it. I mean, look at this person. This person did the exact same thing. They lied. So I get it. I get why a lot of people with actual disorders are so upset with some of these people that are saying the things that they're saying and doing the things that they're doing and getting it completely wrong. Like I said, with the DID stuff, it's something that I would not be talking about unless I had seen it firsthand, which I have many times. Not so much anymore. Actually, that medication helped, therapy helped, all these things to make it kind of, it's never going to go away, but it gets suppressed, and then it just doesn't happen, right? And I feel like some of these people that keep saying, "Oh, well, now I got a new one. Look, this is I want everybody to I'm going to introduce I don't know, Sarah, right? Now they have a new one. And then next week there's going to be another new one. And then the week after that there's going to be another new one. And they have to keep this thing going to keep it interesting, to keep you engaged, when it doesn't work like that. And I know that there are people that profit off of misdiagnosing people. We know this at this point. I mean, the medical industry makes billions of dollars off of people every year. So, finding the right doctor is hard. And I got lucky that I was able to find my wife a very good psychiatrist that got her on the right combination of meds, and is somebody that has actually been a positive influence on our lives. So that's the first part of this. The second part of this is that I want to go more into depth on living with somebody who has bipolar disorder or has schizoaffective disorder or has DID or any other sort of mental illness. If you don't think that you can handle it, then you need to get out, right? If you know that there is something there and you don't want to deal with it, if you don't want to help the other person get better, if you're not in it for the long haul, then you need to just cut your losses and be done with it. It doesn't matter if this is a friend or a relative or spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. Because to try and stick it out, if you have no intentions of sticking it out, is just going to make things 100 times worse. You have to know, and this is the same thing, if you do plan on sticking out, you have to know what you're getting into. You have to be ready to commit to all of that person's faults or symptoms or anything else that goes along with it. If you can't do it, you can't do it. Some people can't. And there was a time where I didn't think I could do it. But the rewards in the long run are that you get to see somebody happy and healthy and no longer in that bad headspace that they were in. Like I said, my wife and I have been fortunate enough, after 11 years, that things are in a good place. But yeah, don't just try and write it out. You know what I mean? Unless you are willing to be involved and be a part of that process that goes along with helping somebody get better. So there's that. And I don't really talk about it. In fact, this is the first time I've ever made a video on this. I asked my wife for permission to do this, and obviously I'm not going into specifics on everything that is involved in our lives, but I'm at least giving a better picture of what it's like to live with somebody who has a mental illness and everything that goes along with that. I get tired of seeing just the idiots on the internet that get it just so completely fucking wrong And then I tell my wife, hey, look at this thing over here that this person is saying or doing. And she's just like, it is nothing like that. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time, yeah, I hope this video did some good. And I hope some of y'all, feel better after watching it.